Welcome to the Unclehack Podcast, where dudes pretty much just talk dude shit.
It was. I had like, it was crazy. It was like 20 notifications, like 2 comments. It was insane.
Your Instagram.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to the episode. Grandpa's over here trying to let us in on behind the scenes of his social media following, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Unclehack Podcast. For those just listening in, I have the wonderful Sam Walker live on location. Here we are in Milton, Ontario, starting off the tour 1 week in. How you feeling, Sam?
I'm feeling really good. Yesterday, I would have been a little bit haggard because we hit the ground running since April 1st. We were in Vancouver, blew the roof off that place, House of Comedy, sold out.
Yeah.
Show on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
And then we flew into Calgary, repacked the bags, and flew all the way out to Ontario for 16-city tour.
Yeah. We've been going so hard. For those that do know Sam, he usually has a black glove, but he's been fisting the world so hard, it's the hide has been tanned. Look at him go.
I have many different gloves for many different occasions, and this was my cooking glove today, so I didn't burn my fingers. So.
Very interesting.
Going with Children of the Corn motif out here, I think.
Ike.
I like it.
Why does it just say Ike?
It's supposed to say Nike, but it's a knockoff.
I
want to be like Ike.
Nigerian version. Okay, very well. So me and you have been spending some time on the road together. We've been talking a lot about what's going on in the news. Yeah. And we could spend a little time talking about the shows, and then we can get into a few articles here. That's usually the format of the show, right?
Sounds good.
We're gonna talk about the Dalai Lama. Yeah.
Evil Dalai Lama.
Yeah, and Canada has just sent $59 million worth of assault rifles to the Ukraine. Huh?
Whew, boy.
How does that make you feel?
All the homeless people in Ukraine are going to be armed to the teeth.
That's good for everybody.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we started the tour here. Now, first week, we were without the Weasel. We didn't have Brett Forte with us, and Dan Gyrie, who was on the last episode, stepped in.
Yeah,
and took his place.
Wild man Dan. That guy is. He was really, when we were looking at a comedian that could cover the distance out here.
Yeah,
he was really one of a very short list. Like the list was like 3 people long.
Yeah,
and the other 2 guys wouldn't return my phone calls.
Any particular reason why, maybe?
You know what? I think they lost the luster for the glory of touring in Ontario. I think the comedians out here have a really piss-poor attitude.
Right.
About just everything. Work ethic, presentation, production.
Yep.
And they just, they didn't want to hang with the cats, man, because the 3 of us are setting the standard for stand-up comedy shows in outlawed jokes on outlawed mics.
Correct.
And we're hammering 16 different cities, and we only did 1 show in Toronto, and that was last Sunday, where you, Uncle Hack, made your Toronto debut, headlining the Corner Comedy Club. Very historic, and as far as street cred goes, it's probably like one of the best clubs in Canada. And you rocked it. Two late shows on Easter Sunday, man. It was historical.
Yeah, it was great. It was good to get that off the chest, you know. Now,
yeah.
Now the sky's the limit. I think. I don't know what follows that or what the future holds, but I know that Rockin' the House is exactly what is in the deck of cards. Now that we got the 3 musty queers tipping tips.
Yeah. It's going to be unstoppable. The NWO's out. Like we had, Scott Norton subbed in for a bit, but now we're back to Hollywood, Razor, and Diesel coming at you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been a treat, and like you said, the travel has been grueling, which is why getting an episode out last week was like, holy shit.
That's right. We had to
record on the road. Yeah, man, holy shit.
Time's tight, man. And let me tell you, like, for people that don't know, Ontario is vast, and all your tax dollars go to their roads. So we drive it very quickly, but they're still long. Like, I was doing 130, pretty regular.
Yeah,
on the regular, and it was still like 2.5, almost 3 hours in between some of these. And we got a home base, like we're staying at this place.
Yeah,
and so instead of like staying in a hotel where we're 2 hours away, we'll drive back.
Yeah,
and that's road warrior, man, because these Toronto cats, they like hop on the subway, go and do a crappy open mic in front of a dozen.
How do you like staying at 1912 Beaumont Drive?
Whew, I'm loving it.
In Milton, Ontario.
It's really
to
nice.
be exact.
They haven't put the grass in yet in the neighborhood, or the trees, or the homeless people yet. But don't worry, it's coming.
Yeah, let's see how many people show up to that address.
Yeah. We'll be long kicked out of there. Long kicked out of there.
Holy
some good wildlife around here. We seen some raccoons the other day.
Oh, is that what you're calling them? Hey?
Yeah.
The video's out, man.
They got little paws.
Yeah.
Little beady eyes. They're bandits, and they're stealing other people's trash.
Tutus. Yep. Dancing to Lady Gaga's greatest hits in the streets of New York.
Well, the kid's amazing, man. You know what? They should change his name to Desmond the Mediocre, because his fucking death drop sucks. Dude, your death drop sucks.
You're calling out Desmond on this podcast right now?
Yeah, he's like the least talented of all the drag kids. I see better talent at my local library in Calgary.
Really?
For real.
Wow.
Straight up. That's one of my offshoots now, is I'm coaching the kids for the library.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, make it to the big times, man.
Now, is that because maybe like you didn't make it yourself in, when you were stripping as Queefer Sutherland?
You know what? It's a sad story, because my prime money-making years, my parents cared too much about me and wouldn't let me do it.
Damn.
Yeah, 12 to 16. That's when you make your money.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just ask the Dalai Lama.
Yeah. Oh, great way to segue into that. But it is well, hold on. We gotta. Yeah.
Okay.
We gotta dive into this.
Yeah.
Now, is this a passion of yours, or is it just a hobby to be coaching drag queen kids?
It is my mission in life, because for some reason our community keeps dying out every couple of years.
Yeah.
So we constantly need to replenish.
Yeah.
And there was you guys can look it up. It's online, but it's known as the Holocaust, the dance floor Holocaust. Go. Yeah, all these guys in the 80s died on the dance floor. It was a real tragedy. It's like 8 million deaths, Freddie Mercury being one of them. And now they need 8 million.
And another.
Yeah. The pussy killed that guy. That's what I like to believe. And they need to replenish the coffers. We need 6 million fresh pink anuses. No more, no less.
So you're just basically doing the Lord's work, or like Freddie Mercury's in Freddie Mercury's honor, to make sure that the kids are still dancing in drag outfits and wearing leather daddy style outfits at the library. Am I understanding this correctly?
Kids can't handle the leather daddy, man. Like, you got to be able to take a pounding. And these kids, they need to train harder. They need to get older. They need to get stronger. It's a lot like hockey in that way. Is you see these kids coming up, and you can tell if they're going to be a good performer, a good dancer, just by their athleticness and their build. So that's why I hang out at recreation centers, scouting the next talent. It's no big deal, guys. It's also sanctioned by the library. So the library is part of our local government. So you could say I'm working for the government.
Okay. So this makes it all perfectly legal at this point.
Exactly.
I was getting a little worried.
No. If this was private companies doing that, it'd just be gross.
would be a little upsetting, depending on how big the company. Now, if it was a locally owned business, I'd probably be a little more upset. But let's say Walmart donated you some nice outfits, some perfectly fitting tutus, or maybe a bodysuit of some sort, or even just to donate the duct tape to make sure the cock doesn't,
A professional RuPaul tuck job doesn't come cheap. And you know what? There is different types of duct tape for that to work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just go to your nearest elementary school and ask the principal or the librarian. They should be able to point you to the nearest resources.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to ask your parents about this kind of stuff. Because I know it can be a little bit embarrassing.
Right.
But for me, the good thing is that's why I shave. These little kids, they don't need to worry about shaving and ripping off hairs because they ain't got none.
Yeah. Oh, so you keep the pumpkin patch pretty clean down there.
Well, not right now.
More like the Blumpkin patch these days, eh?
It's more like I call it the briar patch of chastity.
All right.
Yeah,
there it is.
It keeps me honest on the road when I have a wily briar patch going on down there.
Yeah.
You're just not as prone to driving that bus down those roads.
Right.
When it's like, I'm not exactly groomed. I'm not camera ready, so to speak. And it just kind of, helps in those lonely, long nights on the road.
Yeah. Okay. Do you miss coaching? Now I was taking you away from coaching, something like that. Is there a place in your heart that isn't being fulfilled right now? Because now you're living in a house with two grown men who aren't necessarily into dancing or there is some dressing up going down inside the house. But I know like your passion sits with prime athletes, like you were saying, and we're a little outdated at this point.
You know what? You're not. Look, I'm a couple years older than you guys. So
what's a couple?
Well, like 2 half a decades and then a third.
Oh, okay.
The age difference, people get hung up on that all the time.
Yeah.
And I have no problem hanging out with younger people.
Yeah.
So it's not something I'm embarrassed about. I wear it with pride. And sorry, what were we talking about?
We were talking about the Dalai Lama.
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
So let's bring that up. So what I got here for us today, I don't know why that's so fucking blurry.
Because they're fucking with it.
Okay.
They don't want you to see his little half a chub coming up. Oh.
Okay, we'll start this over. The Dalai Lama gives the Dalai Lama a big hug here.
Oh, suck my tongue. This is great. He's trying to build rapport with his young student here. Watch this. Going for the hug.
And suck my tongue. Thank you. Thank you.
Look, we're friends. See, I'm holding your hand. As kids.
We are same human brothers, sisters.
Oh, look the other way. Help!
Now, there's one. Look at this. Whoa. I know like maybe this video isn't translating that well to audio right now, but the Dalai Lama is sitting there with his tongue out telling a young Indian boy to suck it. Is this a way... Is this... I don't even know what to say to this, quite honestly, but it is in reality, it's a tad disturbing, but I understand the love that maybe he has for all these Tibetan followers that believe that he is the second coming of Christ or whatever the hell they believe in over there.
I think he's starting an international chapter of the North American Man-Boy Love Club. He's
NAMBLA.
Yeah. We haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah.
That needs to come back. We need to give those guys a shout out for the Lord's work they're doing all over the world. But the fucking Dalai Lama, he's like the head jester. Look how little his tongue is.
Right?
And you know what? I think we're being a bit rude.
How so?
On this is we're not understanding Tibetan culture.
Right.
And we're mixing up the words because I think when he said suck my tongue, he meant suck my hog.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the thing about language barriers. They always get you. Because like when you were in Sweden, what did they...
I thought no means yes.
Yeah?
And yes means anal.
That's what I mean. Like you go to a new country and next thing you know, you're on your heels. You might say the wrong thing at the right time.
Yeah. The Swedes were very accommodating. And I see this young boy and his parents were very accommodating to the Dalai Lama. Because in the background too, when you rewind that clip, there's a guy on the phone like, oh, you can hear them all laughing like, oh, it's a good one. And he's like getting a backwards angle. I want to see the backwards angle.
Oh, yeah. Little back shot. You know.
I like the kid's right ear, but what's his left ear look like?
And what's his facial expression? Is that what you really want to see? Like, is he terrified? Is he into it? Is he not?
I want to hear his heart rate going on. That kid ain't having a good time. This is like, butt blasters of the universe unite.
For those just listening, Sam's just reading out the bottom. You know how CNN always has the headline below, and it's, I don't know what language that is. Tibetan? Does that sound right?
Watch the Dalai Lama get to second base in front of International News Agency.
Now, after this video release, the internet is quick to see this and be like, what the fuck is this? And I have a theory, okay? I was thinking about this after I seen this video. He was like literally a Walmart parking lot away from being an actual pedophile. I think that's like the breeding grounds of it, right? Because I like to watch those pedo hunter videos. Yeah. And it's always in a parking lot.
Those guys annoy the piss out of me, man.
They're making your job harder?
Very hard.
Wow. You know?
No, but go on. I know you like enjoying the videos there. It's good. It's good, clean fun, actually.
Because they ambush them, and then these idiots always show up, and they're always like walking by themselves, by nowhere near a car. They, you know, like it's the same.
A pocket full of rubbers or something.
Yeah. Oh, you're here to meet a kid, and they're like, no. They always deny it. So like, there's a level of fame I think that you can obtain.
Yeah.
In this life where you can have a boy suck your tongue on camera on a national broadcast and people just kind of like, where if some asshole with a YouTube channel just ambushes you in the parking lot, then that's the discrepancies.
You're done. It's white trash. But like, the Dalai Lama is famous for being a living deity on earth. Like that's essentially what he is. He's godlike. And the hubris of this bald, glasses-wearing motherfucker. This guy's never done a push-up in his life. And I can't respect that. Like, I don't care who you are or where you're from. You got to be able to knock out a set of 20 push-ups, or else you just ain't with it, Jack.
Yeah.
And the other thing of this is just how the complete arrogance of this guy is going to bite him in the ass, because now everybody knows this is not going away, Sir Dalai Lama. I'm going to run into you in Vancouver at the gay nightclubs, and I'm going to bring it up when you're in the bathroom without your bodyguards.
Oh, you're gunning. He made the list. He's on the list now.
He's always. Stan Frank has added the Dalai Lama to the list.
Oh,
you know what? He's going on this leg of the tour. Get ready for a lot of Dalai Lama jokes.
There it is, live on the podcast. Walker has now many people don't know about this book. When your name meets that book, you're in the history books forever, for life.
Yeah, because I don't write anything down on my phone.
Right.
Really, like text messages, but that doesn't count. Maybe the occasional email, but any comedy related ideas or anybody I ever meet. Yeah. I make sure to always have a physical copy of their name, who they are, where I met them, and their phone number, contact information, in case we need to collaborate in the future. Because I do meet, like, it's very cool when we get to travel. We do get to meet a lot of interesting people.
Yeah, and we do.
Like, people are coming into your life like water. Yeah. And leaving all the time. So I think that's part of the success of the three of us, is we always have like a solid foundation together. Yeah. Where we're not working with new and crappy guys.
Exactly.
Dan Gyrate not being in the crappy guys list. I just want to reiterate that. But yeah, most of these
Are you
guys,
sure?
Look, I had a couple issues with Dan. Guy goes to the grocery store for us, spends 186 Ontario dollars on getting us a fucking smoked meat sandwich and some blueberries.
Sent you over the edge.
Yeah, man. I was like, that was why we needed Brett back in here, because Brett will tighten up them purse strings real quick.
Exactly.
I watched the guy hammer down on a can of tuna as soon as he got off on the plane. Drank the water, too, because he didn't want to open a bottle.
Now, when we're talking about people we've met on the road here and doing shows, one of the gentlemen that we did meet was this guy right here. We're throwing a curveball into the show because you brought it up, and I'm a man of many trades.
Yeah.
When it comes to this podcast. Now, you brought up. Now, the article reads, man accused of allegedly throwing gravel at Trudeau to stand trial next March. So the gentleman that threw gravel at the Prime Minister, his presence was at one of our shows.
Oh, really?
Yes. Were you unaware of this?
No, I had look, we can't help who comes to the shows.
No. Hey, like we said at one of the shows, you don't need to take an IQ test to buy a ticket from dangercatshop.com. That's the beauty about our shows, is it's no math equations. You know, when you win a prize with McDonald's,
Yeah.
and they have a math equation to get your prize, we don't do that.
No, we don't. But you do have to have a legitimate credit card number or an actual bank account.
Yeah.
So there is,
There's something.
always a minimum standard for everything. There is, but yeah, throwing gravel. That's a strong word.
Yeah.
Because gravel can be many different sizes. But as I understood it at the time, it was pebbles
Yes.
that were thrown, and
No injuries were reported in the incident.
yeah. And then this is where it gets sticky, is that he went in, brushed it off. Like I've watched politicians get egged and garbage thrown at them, water.
Yeah.
Bill
the old
Gates.
pie in the face. That's
Did
a
you
classic.
see old Bill Gates? Watch that clip of
That
Bill
one's
Gates.
my favorite. Whap! Oh!
He short circuits, and you see the terror and the fear on his face. Go in slow-mo. It's really hard to find on the internet these days for some reason. I don't know, but
TikTok has it. They got everything.
it's great. You know what? I've never been a big Rick Talk guy, but I think I'm going to get into it because they're telling me not to. And it's just like, you know what? That kind of advertising works.
Yeah.
It works for me.
Yeah, 100%. Anything that you're not supposed to have, you want it more. And when there's legislation that they're trying to push through to back it up, that makes it more like almost like golden. It's shinier to the eye, you know?
Yeah, it really is. And as far as like throwing trash at politicians, like it is what it is. You got to live your life, like treat people the way you would assume to be treated. And these guys, like, nobody likes JT in Canada. Like, it's okay. I'm just gonna make a point here.
Yep.
They're lying about how many people are in Canada. There is not 38 million people in Canada, because we know everybody.
Yeah.
We know everybody, and everybody else out there knows everybody. I guarantee you, we do. We just all kind of need to all get in the same room and figure this out, because they're lying about the amount of people in Canada for a few different reasons, like gross domestic product, taxes, elections, and then all the people they're killing. Not killing, culling is the word, on legalized drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're just getting rid of people left, right, and center. So living pretty clean on the road. Like we don't partake in any of the bullshit party favors.
No.
Anybody coming to the shows, don't waste your time offering, because we ain't playing that way. Like, we're playing for keeps. This is wrestling.
Yeah.
You got to stay healthy and strong. I don't want to be getting off the road in a month and being weak. I want to come off the road stronger.
Amen.
And so far we're doing that, and that means eating properly, traveling tight, having each other's backs, and not putting up with bullshit. Because I know if somebody would throw pebbles at me, I'd be pretty pissed.
Yeah, 100%.
I would, but I don't think JT should be alone in this. I think every politician in Canada should get the same treatment that he does.
Yeah.
They should be shouted down everywhere they go. And this is like a left, right, upside down, whatever color your party is. All of them are trash. You are all human garbage. And you can quote me on that.
100%. I sit in the same boat with you when it comes to any vote, or I don't partake in the popularity contest. No more.
Man. These guys are such milk toasts.
Yeah, there became a point where I started watching like CPAC videos, and it just was like it's the same monotonous arguments over and over again. Nobody's presenting a policy that will ever better my life.
No.
There's always a backdoor policy attached to the one that's in the headlines, like Bill C-11 that's looking to censor our internet, and they're using this like, it's for misinformation. But then, like, what is the misinformation? Because for 3 years, we were told specific things about, viruses, vaccines, and all that. And then you come to find out a couple of years later, a lot of it's false. Another thing that really annoys me with our media, that with the trucker convoy. Now, whether you're for or against it, right, is the point that I try to really hammer down is it got labeled racist when there was nothing to do with race. This was people that were standing up against vaccine mandates.
100%.
And then to throw an accusation like that towards, because there was somebody with a rebel flag, but the media seemed to forgot.
Guy in a mask, too.
Guy in a
Anybody
mask. And everybody surrounded him and told him to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then that video suddenly doesn't make it on the,
multiple
the
times,
propaganda machine on our little screens. So then you confuse a public on what these people were there for. It was one of the most peaceful protests. There wasn't a single fucking piece of garbage on those streets.
Nothing. Crime rate went down to nothing in the downtown core.
Yeah.
Not even so much as a snowball or a water bottle thrown at those foot soldiers of Satan.
Yeah.
That was controlling all that. The other thing, too, that people don't really realize is that a vast majority of the truckers had already, done what they thought they had to do as far as taking the shot.
Yeah.
So these guys were doing it, and they were already... So it wasn't like this anti-vaxxer thing. Like, that always gets thrown in there. It's been used to muddy the waters for a long time. I remember pre-2020 doing roast battles. And, I know you're a former roast battle champion of Canada.
Yeah, and you're a five-time...
I am a 5-time roast battle champion of Canada, meaning I've lost the title 5 times. But the thing is when I was doing roast battles I think Brett started them in 2017.
Yeah.
Was the first time. And so I was continuously roast battling almost every month for the next 5 years. And I keep going back to pre-2020 because one of the cheapest pops that always hit so hard, but I thought was just such a shitty, weak thing, was like, say I'm on stage against somebody else and they're like, yeah, Sam's not vaccinated. Or like, looks like you didn't get your shots. And it would be like, yeah! Fucking crowd would go wild over that shit. And it was always just so fucking first off, we live in the safest times in human history.
Correct.
This is we have a thing called indoor fucking plumbing. And that cures almost all the ills of the ancient world get taken away with sanitation.
Yeah.
And living essentially a clean life. We live better than the kings of old ever did in some fucking
high tower,
ripped out Airbnb in Beaumont, Milton, it's incredible how much we've progressed, but also why they want to keep us down.
Well, the fear porn is what keeps us from actually gathering together, to be scared of your neighbor because, it's even like post 9/11 when, here we go. As soon as that happened, everybody, that was the only time where we collectively were fucking terrified of brown people, and it was just fucking, whoa, in your face. So if a brown dude moved in your neighborhood and we're like, that's a terrorist.
It is, but it's,
you know what I mean?
I can't believe how far they pushed it and so fast because this is a little bit before your time, but AIDS, when it came out, wasn't known as AIDS. They called it something different. They called it grids. It was known as grids, and you can look it up. It's in the newspaper. That's how they talked about it. And it was like gay-related immune deficiency or disease. And there was an idea floated back in the 80s of if you had the AIDS, then you had to get like a card and like carry it around with you to go into businesses.
Yeah.
And show your personal healthcare information. Like, look, it's nobody's business if you got AIDS or not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
Invented by the chief medical officer of the United States, baby.
And also,
America.
Yeah, they fucking they started out with a minority community of well, you wouldn't know it nowadays because apparently, according to the news, everybody's gay. But back in the 80s, it was still something that was very small. So it's like a good tester population. And people's attitudes back then, you didn't look at it like your cousin. Like everybody's got a gay person in their family.
Yeah.
Like it is there, it is around.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not as rampant as they want you to make it look now of like everything's a rainbow.
Yeah. Well, it's a diversion right now. Is like now
Divisive.
Yes, it's very divisive. So instead of being outside of the Parliament building, being like, why the fuck are my groceries triple the cost they were prior to this pandemic happening?
Yeah.
Now you're outside of the public library because a drag queen is reading to your kids. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just
So-
absolutely insane. And this isn't like, guys, this isn't anything new.
No.
Like this has been around for as long as human history has been around. It's just repackaged, and they're like now they have like oh, Brett took his shirt off camera. He's got a tan and he's been working out.
Yeah, he felt the need to show it.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Yeah, good for him.
I'll put him in the Father Nelson later tonight.
And what is that?
It's like a full Nelson except wetter.
Oh, there it is. He's going to stick his tongue out at you like the Dalai Lama. Except his tongue comes through a zipper.
Yeah, my tongue.
Whoa.
My tongue ain't circumcised.
Oh, no. A real fucking, the old hooded snake.
Ooh, in the briar patch. Coming at you, but...
No, it's the same. No, you're right, man. It is the same shit.
That was what I was going to say.
Same shit.
Look up, just for historical significance, eunuchs. EUNUCH. And that was what the royals would have, like their favorite servants and everybody they loved that was around their harem and all that. They cut these guys' cocks off. Well, you know what? That's also not very. That's not very true either.
No, that's me, dude. You're good.
Okay. They don't just cut kids' cocks off. They fillet it into 3 pieces and shove it inside. So that's like, it's not very scientifically and medically accurate.
Right.
And if anything on the Uncle Hack podcast is we strive for accuracy.
Yes. That's exactly, because both you and I, we do have like science degrees from the, we just picked them up, just handed down. Teresa Tam signed off. We are both like, well, you especially, you have a degree in coaching these kids on gender affirmation and making sure that we're entertaining grown adults with these drag kids shows. You know, I even seen that you're getting a producer credit on the new CBC series Drag Kids. I thought I heard something that you were.
I'm more of a consultant.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Even CBC won't touch me, but they like my level of perversion.
Yeah,
and I am the apex sexual predator.
Yeah, and you know what? It's about time that higher ups in this country, you know, in a higher up position of power in the media realm, finally look down and see the work that you're doing was created for the better. Yeah, you are going to be on the alt-right side of history because of your fine work that you're doing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I want to be on the Graham James side of hockey history. How come there's no statues for that guy?
I don't know. But you know what? One thing we forgot to cover was the apology from the Dalai Lama. Did you see this, Sam?
Yeah, that's great.
This is fun.
His Holiness.
Yeah. All right. We're going to read this out. Why is that fucking coming through? That's annoying.
Was that me?
No, that's
Yeah, I know.
okay.
Sorry.
The Dalai Lama tweeted out on his Twitter stating this: a video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asked His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, if he could give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, and as well as his many friends across the world. Yeah, you and I. For the hurt his words may have caused. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way. Even in public and before cameras, he regrets the incident. There you go. Thank God the Dalai Lama took to Twitter to clarify what his intentions were to get that young boy to suck on his tongue.
He regrets the incident. That's a different incident when he tore up some other 8-year-old's ass like it was tissue paper.
I let His Holiness a whole new meaning to whole. You know what I'm saying?
It's so good. It really is the gift that keeps on giving,
right? What's that? That Spartan love
we're
between
gonna,
a man and a boy?
We are gonna Spartan. It don't take much, but yeah, like this is just gonna go on forever. Like I'm gonna have that on his gravestone when this old cocksucker dies.
Yeah,
I'm gonna post pictures at like monuments and stuff like that of him getting his tongue sucked by the little boy, just to remind everybody. What like he wears these robes. He probably doesn't even have any underwear on underneath it.
You don't think so?
Yeah, he just pulls it up and pulls out his piglet. That guy ain't got a hog.
True Freemason.
Yeah, he's got a piglet. Yeah, and if he's so fucking holy, then why the fuck's he wearing glasses?
Oh, what's the reasoning behind that? You don't think God gave him the gift of sight? Is that?
God did definitely not give him the gift of foresight. Or else he would have seen that coming a mile away. What a fucking loser.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What a loser. A little boy, too. Like,
that's the world we live in. Everybody.
31.3 million views.
Yeah.
I retweeted it, too, and made some snide comment. Go check out my Twitter, Sam Walker Live, across all platforms. Maybe by the end of this tour, I'll have a Rick Talk account going, too.
Oh, that would be fun.
I think that's something that should happen because they're pushing it so hard as something that like we're going to control your social media. Well, like they watch everything online.
Yeah.
Constantly. Like this is it's not like the Chinese are data mining any more than Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter already have.
Yeah, or like how maybe
probably more.
Yeah, possibly the U.S. government post 9/11 with the Patriot Act.
Yeah, because I don't think the Chinese are that smart, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that will slip through their grasp of English because they just don't get it.
Yeah,
because they're basically glorified hillbilly farmers that got up-jumped 30 years of technology. That's why you see all these guys getting killed in fucking weird and wonderful ways over there, is because there just is not a respect for technology.
Yeah.
And the population is still very ignorant and primitive and stupid.
Yeah.
And that's why they need such a heavy-handed iron fist and yoke of power to project. And also why the Chinese are like, look up Chinese moon landings, because these guys are saying they've gone to the moon now. And it's great. Like their special effects suck. Their movie stars suck. All this stuff is horrible, but they're really giving it because they want to be us, and they can never ever be us. Like the Chinese communist vision isn't about building stuff. All they can do is destroy or copy.
Yeah,
they are imitators, not innovators.
Right.
And my social credit score in Canada is plummeting right now. Plummeting.
Plummeting. Oh, Sam Walker. So funny. You don't think we went to the moon?
No.
How about the Brew Moon?
I don't think I know that they've never been to the moon. And the Chinese and the Koreans and all these other guys are now getting in on the space shit. and they're saying they've sent probes up there, and they're sending their little videos back. You look, the Russians sent one up in the 70s, and it's like black and white, and it shows it rolling off, and it's got like this mirror that opens up, and it shows some stupid drunk Russian with a fucking joystick piloting it from Earth. And this fucking thing's got like a tracking camera shot. These, like, the more time passes, the more ridiculous it becomes. Like you look at kids looking at shit from 10 years ago, and they're just like, yeah, that's so lame and it sucks.
Yeah.
And imagine looking at that, like at the moon technology, like, yeah, we were up there tap dancing on the moon 50 years ago, and then we lost it, and we haven't done it.
Yeah,
and now we're going back.
Holy shit.
And yeah, like I'm watching footage from the International Space Station.
Yeah.
These fucking guys are saying they're giving each other haircuts.
Oh.
A zero gravity environment and just letting some hairs go fly.
Breathing all that in?
Oh.
Were they wearing masks?
No, dude. None of them.
Yeah. So hair follicles and all that are getting inside your mouth?
It was so bad. And it's like, oh, it's probably the greatest sucking vacuum ever. And the vacuum of space is the greatest vacuum of them all.
Yes.
And it's like, you guys are fucking lying about all this shit. Like, there is no International Space Station. That is a green screen studio, probably in Florida or something like that. And all the astronauts go into the compound and they're not allowed to leave or see their loved ones or anything.
I thought I read something that they filmed most of that in like the desert of Arizona.
Oh, yeah. You're going to want to be like where people aren't going to be able to pick up radio traffic and all that stuff. And you're not going to have any outsiders. And like, believe me, astronauts are incredible people. Yeah. Like, they're incredible actors and performers because it's not just a role, it's a life that they have to lead.
Yeah.
Like Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, never wrote books about walking on the moon. And if you actually did it, you couldn't, like, I'd never fucking wear a shirt ever again, and I'd be fucking everybody's wife.
Amen.
Like, just walking into a house without a shirt on. Hey, I'm Neil Armstrong. I was on the moon. I'm going to fuck your wife, and you're going to watch. But to never write a book like that Gorilla Glue girl, she's got a fucking book deal.
Gorilla Glue girl? What do you mean?
Yeah, she put Gorilla Glue in her hair and glued her hair down for a year.
She wrote a book?
3 months. Yeah.
About what? Glue in her hair?
Yeah.
Huh.
And that's not near as exciting as faking being able to go into the moon.
We could argue that. We could argue. We could argue maybe. So do you think that the Earth is flat or is it round?
It's completely flat. We live on, as far as I know, an infinite plane. Okay. But we are surrounded by a boundary. Yeah. Of that we cannot go further. Like, you can drive everywhere. These places exist. Like, I've been there. Yeah. I know we can fly and I know we can go places, but in order to explore, you just can't do that anymore. And by saying the world is a globe, it encloses in, it limits the number of space. Yeah. And also gives them reason to say, like, we have infinite resources. Like, they're basically saying, like, we're running out of gas, we're running out of air, we're running out of wood, we're running out of food, we're running out of love. You know, it's all bullshit. There's more than enough for every man, woman, and child on this planet to eat for the rest of their lives and live. But they just want to scare. Like, scarcity is what they're pushing. And with the ball Earth, like, I just follow their rules. Right. I just follow, like, okay, they say the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles per hour east. But if it was doing that, you'd be able to feel it. Like, it just doesn't work that way. Okay. Now, the Prime Minister came out and was talking to firefighters out here in Ontario. I don't have the exact... This is very recent. This is very recent. Within the last few weeks. Yeah. So the caption on the quote unquote meme here says Trudeau wastes the time of firefighters to talk about flat earthers. All these firefighters have to be there. That's part of their job. Yeah, they signed NDAs and or some shit like that. They signed a forms. And you're gonna get fired if you do anything. Let's see what he has to say.
I got fascinated with the idea of flat earthers. Now, this is an entirely new phenomenon. There wasn't really any moment back in recorded history, not the ancient Greeks or the ancient Babylonians or the Incas or whoever else, who actually wondered whether the Earth was actually flat or not. And Christopher Columbus, they knew the Earth was round. There was no danger he was going to fall off the edge of the world. That wasn't what people worried about when he was setting off to discover the Americas or discover a shortcut to India. But recently, over the past few years, a whole bunch of people have decided that the world is flat. Now, everything we know about science, from the people we've sent to the moon, to the photos we've taken from space, to how we explain day versus night and seasons, we know that the Earth is round. But there are a whole bunch of people out there who have decided that the Earth is flat. And they hang out with each other, and they find different ways of proving to themselves.
One thing he's right, we're together.
Now, that may not seem like a very serious thing, because someone who believes the Earth is flat is not going to necessarily cause tremendous harm to everyone else.
There you go.
Oh, but first off, there's just so much garbage in that, because ball Earth is a fairly new concept. It's only been around for like the last 500 years.
Yeah,
it was a thing, and it's not like the world just ends and then you fall off. That's not what this is fucking about, and it demeans the argument of it is not proven. We have never seen a picture of the Earth from space. All of those are photoshopped. If you look into it, NASA is a photoshopping animation company. That is what they do. They put on large productions. You see those rockets take off. You never see them land. They just go off out into the ocean, and you can't fucking get in your speedboat and follow it along. Nobody ever fucking knows. It's all smoke and mirrors. Old magicians. Magicians have been throwing shit into the fire and scaring the shit out of people since the beginning of time. This is nothing new. And also, space as a whole is like it's a foundation myth, is what it is. Like, all science and belief is based on this belief that we as human beings went to the moon. That makes us all great.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we did not. It's a projection of power. Is they're showing, like, it's fucking Wizard of Oz, man. We are the omnipotent, powerful people that know everything and have done everything.
Right.
And you are stupid peon worker serfs.
Yeah.
Here to fill the cannon fodder for our wars of profit. And it's all fucking lies. And for Justin Trudeau to be bringing up flat Earth, like, buddy, we are over the target, daddy.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's going to be part of C11. That's the Canadian Internet Censorship Bill. And it's going to be like, well, we can't have people proving that the Earth is flat. Is like, you cannot prove, well, you can prove that water does not curve. There is not, because the Earth is spinning all the time, which would make it spin evenly at all times. Like, how did it get started spinning? Did the big finger give it a fucking whip and then it started going? What started it? And the other thing too is, it's just none of their math adds up. So for every mile, the Earth would curve 8 inches in order for it to be a spherical ball. And so you wouldn't be able to see like lighthouses across straits, and there is no bend in the water on the Panama Canal where they dug that out. In fact, they had to build locks and stuff like that to raise the water up.
Yeah.
And if it was curved, you'd just fucking jump it like David Hasselhoff in his Knight Rider boat. You know, it like rivers don't run uphill. It's all water always finds its level, and when you're out on the ocean, it's flat, man. And if like this force of gravity, like the Earth spins, that's what holds the water.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hold the birds. It doesn't hold the dust. It doesn't hold the bugs. Does it suck all the fish to the bottom of the fucking ocean? Get the fuck out of here. Like, it's ridiculous. And school is nothing more than repeating lies. And I'm pissed. I'm still pissed about kindergarten hack, Daddy.
Why is that?
Because they failed me in kindergarten.
Really?
Yeah, I failed my first year of kindergarten and had to do it again.
And ever since then, that's where the anger developed?
Oh, man, I've been angry at the world since the day I was born. Well, since I was very young, definitely. The aspect of that, though, is like there is no reason for you to be going to any place for 8 hours a day for fucking 12 years other than brainwashing.
Yeah.
Brainwashing. And you see like the reaction of the ridicule I get for like, what difference does it make what my perception of reality is? Because in their reality, men are women, women are men, kids are fucking fleshlights.
Yeah.
That's their reality. And I don't see the world that way. But my view doesn't hurt anybody, whereas theirs does.
Right.
They have an agenda. So who cares that I'm like, water doesn't bend? Fucking, we've never been to space. They're just doing it to fuck with everybody and make magic. Like it's just movies, man. It's all it is. Programming.
Next up on the program. You ready for this? I don't got my sound effects, so it doesn't make. I'm really trying to make this as exciting.
Yep.
But no, I understand what you're saying. I definitely understand what you're getting at there. But this is interesting. Canada is spending $59 million on assault rifles, machine guns for the Ukraine. Prime Minister Trudeau also says $2.4 billion loan to Ukraine has been issued. So this is fun. $2.4 billion being sent to the Ukraine. Canada plans to ship thousands of assault rifles to the Ukraine. The federal government announced a package of military and financial assistance for the embattled country on Tuesday following a meeting between Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shamal. I think I said that right.
Yeah, who gives a shit what his name is? These people neither matter nor are of any consequence. They are figureheads.
Yes.
So you got to like just read the lines. Like they put this. First off, that loan. That's not a loan. That's just giving it to them.
Yeah,
you ain't never seeing that money.
No.
When people are watching this podcast 300 years from now, it still won't be paid off. You can quote me on that. And then also, Canada is spending $59 million to procure for Ukraine 21,000. Brett, what's the math on that? $59 million for 21,000 assault rifles? What's that fucking breaking down to per unit? Like that's fucking
along with ammunition.
I don't think that's sound fiscal responsibility.
No.
And whoever's working for Colt Canada, headquartered in Kitchener, Ontario.
Yeah.
$3,000 per gun. Get the fuck out of here.
Why don't they just send the ones that they're trying to confiscate from all the people that are legal?
You could go to
owners?
any reserve in Canada and get something way better than that for much cheaper. I'm not going to tell you specifically which one, but trust me, all of them.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to get a detail. But Colt Canada, headquartered in Kitchener. This is kickback city. This is fucking total horseshit. And lies, like the audacity of these people to print this news. Like personally, we witnessed the death of Canada within our lifetime, and it ended a long time ago. But we're seeing the fallout and the consequences to it, especially over the last 3 years. But it's just like the laws are not worth the paper they're written on.
No.
And it's just make it up as we go along. And so that's why it's very important that you come and see the Danger Cat Spite Tour while we can still do this here. Because you're going to see something unique. It's hilarious. We're not just rude, abrasive people. We're very funny.
Yeah.
The joke writing, the structure, the production, it's all there. Like, it's a fucking show. We put our heart and soul into this.
100%.
And I know you're looking juicy.
Thanks.
You're really taking care of yourself. You're looking great. You're sucking on a robot's dick every fucking 5 minutes, but you know
I need something.
I know everybody got to wrap their lips around something. I'm fucking rocking these little Tootsie Pops. It ain't a kid's tongue, but you know I'm not that omnipotent and powerful like a god.
Right. Well, this is the part of the show, Daddy, where people have wrote in here, right? And I always like to. Because there's pent up tension out there, right?
Yeah.
And some of the audience members that listen to this show or maybe come to our live shows, maybe they have some frustrations and whatnot that they need to relieve that don't involve just whacking off, you know? Sometimes they feel like their voice needs to be heard on a under probably one of the most prolific podcasts to ever come out of Canada, right? With a monthly listenership of 1,200 people.
I can say without a doubt that it most certainly is, because the other numbers are fake. That's also why they're fake and how many people are in Canada, because anybody that's real is listening to this.
Yeah. So we're going to read out some of the hate mail, and then we can talk about it if they have a question. I don't pre-read these. I just I throw them on. So this first piece of hate mail doesn't have a name, but anyways, hey hack, or hey you salty fuck Uncle Hack. I wanted to say I love your podcast, but fuck you, queer. You better bring your fucking A game to Guelph. I'm bringing friends out to see you, you fucking munyuk. You better bring some goddamn merch too. All right, now to get to the hate mail part of this. Also, stop sucking everyone off on your podcast and start sucking some actual cock to get some fans, you faggot. Now back to it. What the fuck is it with all these fucking immigrants that I imagine he meant think, they're almighty fucks when they smell like shit, look like hell, and have the personality and taste in food worse than a meth head addict's appetite for cock when they run out of money. You know what ones I'm talking about? Taking over every fucking McDick's and Tim Hortons in this godforsaken country. Fuck it. Let's change the name from Canada to the land of snow-covered pole starts. Fuck, I'm getting sick of these fucking smelly shit-stained people being here. Anyways, Hack Daddy, I'm pumped to meet you and the other two faggots in your gay orgy. I hope to get to meet you and talk for a bit, and you better have the fucking gift for me as you promised, your Patreon danger dongs. Love you, Hack Daddy. Keep the rants and get a little more racist. All right. Well,
first off, this fucking guy is bullshit with his fucking
sentence structure.
Yeah, use a fucking comma and a run-on sentences. Using $50 words like they're going out of style. You gotta save those up. He definitely wants to have sex with you.
Most do, I think.
Yeah, that's good. I do appreciate though that he put the effort into
include you and Brett in there.
Yeah.
So that means he's paying attention.
Okay, so let me, can I read this one?
Yeah, you can read. By all means, this is the first time a guest is reading out a piece of hate mail.
Thanks. Okay, I haven't seen this either. Hey, Uncle, what the fuck is bee-boo bee-boo? Every time you give us the bee-boo bee-boo, I want to cut my fucking ears off and beat you with a frozen rubber hose. Anyways, it was mint that you came up to northern BC to put on a show for us. One of the best parts of the show was when you guys locked everyone's phones away. It was nice to look across the table or around the room at your fellow degenerates and not see everybody hunched over staring at their crotch like they're watching for the wiener thief. Only thing that would have made the show better would be if you didn't give our phones back at all. Jesus fuck, I'm sick of being married to this thing. Take her easy, you pizza-faced fuck. And if she's easy, take her twice. P.S. Glad I can just send you an email. I don't got no social media crap to shoot you a fucking DM or whatever. Have you thought about releasing the extra episode of the podcast on cassette tape? Then I could just pick her up at the gas station in the morning when I buy my lunch. Buys his lunchetta. Look, this guy is fucking near and dear to my heart, man.
Yeah.
I like him. The Bee-Boo Bee-Boo, that's fucking that faggot Brett Forte's shtick. So don't put that on Uncle Hack.
Yeah, I sniped it. Every now and then. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Every now and then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's been happening on the road is we have these jokes that become communal jokes.
Yeah.
Of just like.
All my jokes.
Yeah, they are.
Look, and so now we've just started doing Brett's jokes.
Yeah. Bee-boo bee-boo is just kind of like
Yeah,
if something's gay, it's a roundabout way. It's a gay way of saying gay.
Look at how upset he is about it, too. It means it's working. So
it's
thanks,
striking an emotion.
buddy, because this clearly ain't a woman, because what woman would buy their lunch at a gas station? Oh, I feel sorry for your toilet, man.
Pure destruction.
Yeah, you get but one asshole in this life, man. Treat it nice.
All right. Our final piece of hate mail to close out the show. You know, that's how we do it around here. We have a little fun with one another. We talk about things that are current events, things that could be. Do you want to read this one, or would you?
No,
like
you
me?
go. You go.
Okay. Hey, Uncle Hack. What is it with the crazy world today? Up here in BC, they are rewriting government language to be more inclusive, stripping citizens of free speech. And down here in the States, we have a bumbling buffoon in the White House, in mainstream media, that apologizes for misgendering a deranged trans school shooter. It's insanity. At least we still have a racist bigot to listen to on the Unclehack podcast. Keep up the good work. Germinator.
Germinator. That's a great handle.
That is. I like how he spelled it. Germ, like germs, and then nader, N8R. It's like a fucking gamer tag.
Yeah, there's a lot in there. Crazy world today. Man, the world has always been crazy. They're just turning up the volume and making it louder. Your day-to-day reality is not that fucked up.
No.
Compared to what they're trying to. Rewriting government language. Inclusive, yes, this is what's known as a humiliation ritual. In communist societies, what they will do is they will make you state lies out loud in order to humiliate you. So like when men are women and women are men, and like I'm not talking about just your average person that wants to use the bathroom. I'm talking about like these male athletes and spokespeople for women's products being straight up men. And winning Women of the Year awards.
Yeah.
I personally think it's hilarious, but I could see why women would be upset and how they have no sacred spaces left. But it's like this is what you wished for when you brought when you vote in governments like we have.
Yes.
And do that. Like you completely, you're reaping what you sow. And by calling us bad people and racists and names and all that stuff, like that's not true. And no matter which way you cut it, like we are just humans walking the earth, and everybody's racist. It's not just by you saying that only white people can be racist makes you racist,
right?
Because
and it takes the sting out of the word. You know, it's being thrown around so much now that to be called that now, just it doesn't have the same oomph that it had maybe even.
Oh no,
you know what I mean?
It's getting weaker by the day, and it's like if you love them so much, why don't you live next to them? And they definitely will not, because they're racists themselves,
right?
It's just. They're able to be racist in a more politically correct way right now.
Yeah.
And that's hating on anybody that has opposing viewpoints.
Right.
And that's the humiliation ritual of creeping communism.
Right.
Is making you say things that are not true out loud.
100%, man.
Yeah.
No, you're the humiliation process is the punishment. And it shit rolls downhill. So then once you convince a public to accept your nonsense and horse fuckery, then all of a sudden you have a broken society. The fabric is torn.
Yeah.
You have women that used to have a penis winning fucking NCAA fucking swimming events, gold medals.
And I haven't seen any females becoming men and winning any of their events.
No, that's because we are the number one gender.
Yeah.
We are very difficult to you can't overthrow. We're powerful.
Yeah.
In fact, I bet you if we do some digging, the ones behind all this trans stuff are probably more than likely men pushing it.
Yeah, and you know what? If I was a do-nothing, milquetoast motherfucking loser, I would wear a dress and go troll women's spaces as much. If I knew I was never getting that sweet top layer trim ever again, like that I knew that I never had any chance, I would be like, because these guys literally hate women.
Yeah.
And that's why they do this.
Yeah.
They're goons and they're bullies. And in times before, they were just like losers on the internet. But now they're, getting a little bit motivated and invading that space. So
exactly,
it's really interesting times.
Exactly.
I'm having a lot of fun, and we're in a golden age of comedy, man. Like the jokes and the shows are getting funnier each show, and we have people coming to multiple Danger Cat shows on this tour.
Yeah,
like
it's crazy.
We have one guy that's coming to every show.
Yeah.
And he's following us around like we're in the Grateful Dead or something like that. But we also have other guys that are coming to 2 or 3 shows on the tour on the loop. And I guarantee you guys are not getting the same show twice.
No.
So it's not like, oh, I've seen the Danger Cat show. And to come out, you're getting a different show every time because the jokes keep changing. The lineup is now back solid. The 3 Musketeers.
Yeah.
Brett Forte, Uncle Hack, Sam Walker. We're going to be laying it down hard, and we can't wait to see you, man.
Amen. And with that being said, you can hit dangercatshop.com. The ticket link is right there. And we thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. It was a pleasure to have none other than one of my road dogs and best buds in the whole wide world, Sam Walker, my mortal enemy and best friend. No, that ain't true. We'll wait for the mortal enemy is next week.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. We're going to hit the Hockey Hall of Fame next weekend.
Yeah,
too, so.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for that. That's the one thing I've wanted to hit since I was a wee lad. And we're out here. We're in the backyard, and we're gonna take a little tour down and see some of the great treasures of hockey's history.
Uncle Hack, always a high honor. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on. See you at the shows, ladies and gentlemen.